Tony, do you find that your workers are particularly vulnerable to accessing more credit, or particularly vulnerable not out of need for luxuries these days, but out of need to survive? They seek credit to survive from one salary payday to the next salary payday.
Absolutely. I mean, people are getting into deeper levels of debt, and it is because of poverty and rising food prices. So people are buying food and just general necessities through credit and other means, and that clearly has to be addressed, whether through the National Credit Act or other forms of regulation. But we've got to find a way to restrict the levels of indebtedness of the society. And there's got to be a clearer criteria for how people qualify for loans, how they qualify for additional credit, because it is causing a bubble that's going to burst with huge implications for the economy. But it is also causing a huge social problem where it's those pressures that come about because of that is translated into wage bargaining and other social strife that takes place in the society. So we need a different way to deal with it, and we can't have a circumstance where we are essentially selling money to people instead of products at high interest rates. And many people are profiting out of that, but we're not taking into account the longer term effects of that. And that's a national interest issue that we've got to respond to differently.
Do you see a role for an employer to be playing in looking at salaries, looking at garnish orders? Because what I'm also finding now is that some employers are simply not even aware that some of the employees are going home with no money. We're looking at HR departments not doing anything and saying, minus, you earn 10,000 Rand, minus, you're now going home with 114 Rand for the month. Surely there should be some interaction. Surely there should be some intervention. There should be some onus placed on the employer to also check, how his employees, what the financial status is, because we are all aware of the bad financial state that many consumers are in.
Well, we clearly need to find a solution to it, and the employers certainly have a role to play in that. I think unions must take a lot more responsibility in the workplaces. There's got to be more discussions about the deepening levels of indebtedness. But as a society, we can't allow the system to continue as it is at the moment because of the many dangers in it. And so we've got to find a new way to deal with it. And this profiteering on the misery of poorer people by just extending loans to them, that these loan sharks and others know they're going to be able to recoup in some way, that's got to stop.